I often think about this question. Why do people care about tech? Come on YouTube and watch tech videos. And the greater meaning of what these tech videos are supposed to imply. And why does any of this matter? It's tech. It's all dated, sometimes not even a year out. And people still follow and stay up to date with it. Sometimes I think it's topical. I think it's because they want to know what's going on with the iPhone 17 Pro, what I'm filming on, or maybe the accessories like this DJI mic, or maybe an Apple Watch Ultra. Like, I do feel like sometimes they just want to know what that topic is that the video is about. Most of the time, I feel like people watch the personality of the person. They built that trust with them, or they understand that rapport, and they go back because they know what to expect when they watch those videos. At least that's how I feel for me when I watch like an MKBHD video, or I don't know, Snazzy Labs, or any of these bigger names, but even smaller guys. I like watching some of my guilty pleasure is that I like to watch smaller content creators because there's a rawness there. There's a naive headspace of they don't know what they don't know yet, so everything feels limitless, and then risks are taken, stuff like that with smaller YouTubers. I actually quite like watching smaller YouTubers because they got nothing to lose. So I think the bigger picture, the macro here of where I'm getting at, I think it has to do mainly with community. I think it's the community that's built. And I think when it comes to within a community, each community has topics, genres, subcategories, and all those things are important. Sure. But I think what I like to try to do is incorporate life, like bigger life meaning picture elements into a topic. It's not about having, iPhone 17 Pro for the camera that I can now film using a 24 millimeter lens of the main sensor. It's about what those photos or videos mean to the bigger picture of life for me, and I can showcase it through my life and how that can translate for you, what you can do with the same photos. But even then, I don't even like to talk about brand. Yes, this channel is typically Apple based because those are the products that I use. I don't cover Apple because it's popular. Evidently it is, but Android has a bigger footprint in the world. But I don't cover Android because I don't use Android. I don't have anything against it. It's just not the ecosystem that I use. What I find value in is about preserving, documenting moments in time, which later become memories, especially now that I'm a father. And I value appreciating those moments when I look back at them in a way that is just simplistic in the moment to capture. Everybody knows how to use a smartphone camera. An iPhone camera is very functional. Best point and shoot camera that there is. Doesn't matter what phone you're using. It doesn't matter what variants of that phone that you're using. They are all capable, and they have been for over a decade. But I like capturing moments and then looking back at those. That's what those moments mean for me. And then later it became that when I launched this channel, that I was able to capture my essence with the channel through the same lens. At least that's what I'm doing right now. I alternate between this and my Sony. But it's cool tech, and I like to geek out about the tech, and there's a faction of viewerships that like to geek out about that tech. But I think the bigger picture is having that common ground, that understanding that connects us, and then build from there, which is why the motto, the mantra of this channel is tech is art, and we're all connected by it, because I fancy aesthetically pleasing tech. I like that, which is why I have a Tesla, which is why I have, it's all subjective, but I like what the new 17 Pro iPhone looks like, and a lot of people don't, but I like it, and that's aesthetically pleasing. There's many facets to tech that's even just outside of the immediate, let's talk about Apple, let's talk about iPhone, that part doesn't matter. It's like, what does it all mean? Why does this matter to me? Me as in me, Randy, but me, like if I was the viewer, why would this matter to me? Bigger picture. And then, sometimes talking about maybe company leadership when it comes to John Turnus, or if I was talking about, last year I was talking about Elon Musk a few times. I mean, there are things, Sam Altman, Johnny Ive, like there are things that I cover that has to do with personnel in the space that have very real impact in the tech that we use. And I find that stuff interesting too. So when it comes to the why we all watch tech videos, or at least the people who are watching this, I think it's a sense of community, first and foremost, obviously. But I also think that maybe there's a place of understanding. I don't have these conversations with my wife. She doesn't care, no different than, she was a barber and stuff one lifetime ago, and she would talk about different things in the hair industry, and I'd be supportive, but I don't care. I don't know what that stuff means. So where there's a place where you can talk about those things, it feels maybe less lonely. And then the lonely element of it is that you're connecting with people worldwide in a way that would have never been possible, not even 20 years ago. I have viewers all over the world. I've met people from all over the world. In fact, real quick, I'm from San Diego. I'm a San Diegan. I live in Colorado right now, but West Coast United States. That's where I'm from. And that's my background. If you are somewhere so far from that, let me know. Let me know. Put it in the comments. It's interesting to see just how far the reach is. I see the analytics. I mean, I know where the reach is, but it's interesting because I've seen people connect on YouTube through me from other places of the world. And then those little networks would start to form. And I thought that was really cool. I do think that's really cool. So a place of understanding. And I think topical stuff when it comes to things that are interesting, like right now, end of the year, when it comes to hardware, that is more interesting than talking about back to school sales in the springtime. Nobody really cares about that stuff unless there's a new iPad that comes out or something, then maybe, but most of the time it has to do with software announcements mid-year and then hardware announcements right before the holiday, right? So that's the topical stuff, but does that really matter? No. Are you going to remember that I was filming on the iPhone 17 Pro? Probably not. That stuff doesn't matter. It's as I try to use my camera to capture moments to make the memories, I think the reoccurring viewers, at least that I get, even if they're not subscribers, but they keep coming back, I think you build that history with the audience or the viewer, and we can communicate through those devices. Meaning, a lot of people don't have the Apple Watch Ultra 3. They may or may not care, or the 17 Pro. And they may or may not care. But if I am representing those products in a way that I can give my use case and I communicate with people that I get questions about them all the time, then that is how we form that common ground with the tech, as well as our interests, as well as our placement in the consumer tech. Because realistically, and the reason why I'm very reflective of it right now is more often than not, I don't care about consumer tech. I have no expectation or interest of ever being a spokesperson for any big company, because those moments of a product, they come and they go. Like they're high turnover, short shelf life, at least in the news cycle. And I don't know if I condone all those things, what consumer tech has to do, even though it's popular and it sells. I like talking about it because I find the tech interesting. And it goes, everything that I'm interested about with tech goes outside of just Apple or cameras or software. It has to do with the other outlets of my life. And hopefully that gets conveyed in a way that is, I don't know, there's common ground there. It gets conveyed in a way that is universal. But I do like tech. Tech is art. But more importantly than that, with that mantra that I have, is that we are all connected by it. And I think that's the most interesting part of it. No matter how big my imposter syndrome may feel, it is cool to have a platform at all and connect with people with those shared interests, because I think we are more common than we are different. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, American, non-American, left, right, political leaning, none of that stuff matters. We could just appreciate cool stuff for the sake of it. So, yeah, I'm reflective today. And I'm not feeling as sick. I actually got my voice back and I'm not coughing. I went 10 minutes without coughing. So, there's that. All right. Hopefully tomorrow we have some Apple news and we can not be so introspective and talk about relevant news. But if not, we'll figure something out. I'll see you guys later.